Monza, the Temple of Speed, Italy's first permanent race circuit and the home of the Italian Grand Prix since there was such a thing as the Italian Grand Prix. The words Monza and Ferrari are almost inseparable, so I would argue that there's hardly a more fitting place to start the Ferrari Hublot Esports Series Pro Championship than here. Hello fellow sim racers. As you may have divined from the opening sequence of this video, I've been invited to participate in the Ferrari Hublot Esports series, and they've also asked me to make some content surrounding the upcoming races as well. And I'm not the sort of person that says no to the red team. So over the next few weeks, I'll be pretending that I'm not from Woking, as things take on a more Italian flavour around here, while I preview the upcoming races in the series and inevitably get sidetracked along the way. But before I turn on the nostalgia filter, I should probably explain a little bit more about the Ferrari Hublot Esports series and how I'm involved. So, it all breaks down something like this. 48 drivers, 24 of whom are amateurs that battle their way through the qualifying stages, as well as 24 invited drivers that, well, didn't have to bother with any of that. Most of these drivers are esport professionals, the best of the best, and then there's me. We're all driving the absolutely sublime new Ferrari 488 Challenge Evo, created especially for the series by the folks at Kunos, and that's probably about all you need to know for now. So, on to Monza. This is a circuit that we all know like the backs of our collective hands. Starting out with a notorious first lap hotspot that is the Rettifilo chicane, or I should say was the Rettifilo chicane because it's been renamed with this imaginative moniker. Curva Grande really is a straight in pretty much any modern race car, but anchoring up for the second chicane, Della Roggia in old money, is still an event. The 488 really doesn't like the sausage curbs, but for some reason I seem magnetically drawn to them. Thankfully, for the sake of familiarity, the Lesmos have kept their names, and in the 488 Challenge they're an easy place to lose a whole heap of time thanks to our old friend Enthusiasm. This is especially true for Lesmo 2, with that steep apex curve and the alluring gravel trap on the exit. The run down to Ascari seems to be getting shorter and shorter, leaving far less time to ponder what it must have been like to race on the old banking as you pass underneath that hallowed concrete. Ascari itself is worthy of the great man's name, and in the 488 Challenge it is, well, a challenge. The curb on the first apex can almost be ignored, but that innocent looking little thing in the right-hander is hungry for your blood. If you keep it on the black stuff, all that's left now is to keep your foot pinned before choosing a braking point for the always tricky Parabolica. Guessing the entry right is incredibly important, but it's almost nothing compared to the challenge of picking the moment to get back on the loud pedal. With Monza's extensive start-finish straight, getting on the power even 1 metre late can hemorrhage lap time. Some of the names may have changed, but this is still the same old Monza. So that's the circuit, but Monza itself is really only a small piece of the puzzle. With 23 other drivers, the vast majority of whom are seasoned esport professional racers, this series, well, it's going to be tough. There are a couple of other YouTubers in the mix, but if you've seen the races that have been announced already, then you'll know that the level of competition is going to be extremely fierce. I've been putting in quite a lot of time to make sure I'm going to be able to equip myself with a level of professionalism, but I know that these 4 races are going to be the toughest of my sim racing life so far. And you know what? I can't wait. It's a privilege to be racing in a series with names like Ferrari, Hublot and Thrustmaster attached, and honestly, my main goal is to keep you guys entertained. So guys, you can tune in on Sunday to watch me take on some of the fastest sim racers in the world. They're competing for the attention of the Ferrari Driver Academy, and honestly, I'll be trying not to strain my eyesight as they disappear off into the distance. There are links in the video description to all of the places you can watch the streams and to the Ferrari store who were cool enough to sort me out with all of this merch. So I guess all that's left to say is goodbye, thanks for watching, tune in Sunday and enjoy the rest of your day.